What are the most potent anti-stress nootropics or molecules that can help to buffer and reduce the body's stress response? In this video, what I'm going to do is take a look at the top 3 anti-stress based nootropics that can help one deal with greater amounts of stress. So for those of you who are brand new to my channel, my name is Lucas, the founder of Ergogenic Health, and my mission is to bring you the most cutting edge health information that you'll struggle to find on Google. So if you do not care about your health, please do not subscribe to my channel. So ultimately, when it comes to managing stress, there are many things that we need to consider and factor into our lifestyle. And as someone who practices gratitude, meditation, walking in nature, all of these practices do work to help one build up their stress response and their stress resilience. But there are certain situations when the use of certain compounds that are directly going to affect our biology absolutely necessary. So the very first anti-stress molecule that I'm here to present is actually one of my favorite traditional Chinese medicinal herbs known as jugulan. Now, jugulan, also known as Gynostemma pentaphyllum, is a botanical herb that has been very well respected in a southern region of China because there are many centenarians that actually believe to have drunk enormous amounts of this tea on a daily basis. In fact, they were drinking up to 4 to 6 cups of this tea on a daily basis, and that's what scientists believe may have contributed to their long life. Now, some of the other benefits associated with Gynostemma pentaphyllum include its ability to stimulate AMP-K, so good for longevity, increasing nitric oxide, increasing the pumping action of the heart, so increasing the amplitude of heartbeats. It reduces insomnia, and it also enhances insulin sensitivity. So you will be seeing all of these compounds linked in the video description down below for your convenience if you're looking to purchase. So jugulan is a premier adaptogen and is being described as like ginseng but better than ginseng because of the energizing and modulative effect both plants have on the body. Now, when Dr. Berkman was studying adaptogens, he discovered that the active compounds in most of them were a particular class of chemical compounds called triterpenoid saponins, which had very low toxicity and very little addictive potential. Now, some of these triterpenoid saponins have been identified as having adaptogenic properties, whilst others were actually found to have anti-inflammatory, hepatoprotective or liver protective, adrenal gland strengthening, and immune system modulating effects. This diagram here gives us a great illustration of how adaptogens actually work. Basically, what we can see is that adaptogens can help to buffer the stress response. Now, when it comes to the stress response, we know that we see an increase in blood pressure, an increase in heart rate, an increase in blood glucose. We may see reduced elasticity of the blood vessels. And so many of these adaptogens, and specifically jugulan, tends to target a wide variety of pathways in the body that help to combat stress and buffer the stress response. Now, what's really interesting was this particular study, which was titled Antidepressant-like Effects of Standardized Gypenicides, Involvement of BDNF Signaling in the Hippocampus. Now, what's key to note is that these adaptogenic molecules, or these gypenicides that are present within jugulan extract, basically had an antidepressant effect in mice that were exposed to chronic unpredictable mild stress, or CUMS, which they use as a model to basically assess the body's stress response. So when it comes to dosages of jugulan for buffering the stress response, we're looking at a 45% gypenicide extract, which will be the one that is linked down below in the video description. And in terms of dosages, we're looking at about 500 milligrams orally, up to twice per day in between meals. Now, bear in mind, this particular adaptogen can lower blood sugar, so it is best to consider using in between meals or just following your highest carbohydrate meal. So the next anti-stress molecule is known as lemon balm or Melissa officinalis. Now this will also be linked in the video description down below, but basically lemon balm is what's considered a nervine and anxiolytic herb. It also possesses nootropic-like effects because it's been shown to improve memory. But the key point to note is that Melissa officinalis actually targets one of the key transporters in the brain known as GABA transaminase. Now we can see this study was titled Effects of Traditionally Used Anxiolytic Botanicals on Enzymes of the Gamma Aminobutyric Acid System or the GABA system. Now, what's interesting to note was obviously this was an in vitro study, but we're sort of correlating this in vitro data with historical usage plus what people are noticing from this particular botanical was that basically what they noted was that aqueous extract of Melissa officinalis exhibited the greatest inhibition of GABA transaminase activity. Now, GABA transaminase is actually what degrades GABA. So by inhibiting the enzyme that degrades GABA, we're actually increasing the total production of GABA in the brain. And that by itself is going to reduce the body's stress response and help one feel more calm. This particular study was titled The Anti-Stress Effects of Lemon Balm Containing Foods. And basically what they noted was that lemon balm has been used historically and contemporarily as a modulator of mood and cognitive function with anxiolytic effects following administration of capsules, coated tablets, and topical application. Following a pilot study with lemon balm extract administered as a water-based drink, which confirmed absorption of rosmarinic acid, effects on mood and cognitive function, we conducted two similar double-blind placebo-controlled crossover studies. These evaluated the mood and cognitive effects of a standardized Melissa officinalis preparation administered in palatable forms in a beverage and in yogurt. What they noted was that basically both active lemon balm treatments were generally associated with improvements in mood and or cognitive function or cognitive performance. So when it comes to dosages of Melissa officinalis or lemon balm, we're looking at between 350 milligrams to 750 milligrams, which appears to work well for most people when it comes to buffering stress, reducing anxiety, and reducing cortisol. So the next anti-stress molecule is known as Picamillon, also known as nicotinyl GABA. Now, Picamillon is very well known in Russia as a potent anti-stress drug that is being used to treat a wide variety of conditions. So basically this compound is based on a synthetic combination of GABA and vitamin B3 or niacin, with the former being responsible for reducing neuronal excitability and the latter as acting as a strong vasodilator. Now, what's interesting to note is that its effects are similar to those of phenibut, as both drugs reduce anxiety and improve mood. However, unlike phenibut, Picamillon is said to have a much stronger impact on the energy metabolism in the brain because it actually stimulates the consumption of oxygen and glucose by neuronal tissue. Similar to phenibut though, Picamillon should be taken for a period of a maximum of 3 weeks and has the capacity to cause some degree of withdrawal syndrome if abused. As the original instruction claims, Picamillon dilates blood vessels in the brain. It also has tranquilizing, psychostimulating, anti-aggregant, and antioxidant effects. Now, the drug improves the functional state of the brain due to the normalization of tissue, metabolism, and influence on the cerebral circulation. This particular study was titled GABAergic Mechanism of Cerebrovascular and Neuroprotective Effects of Afobazole and Picamillon. And basically what they noted was that Picamillon possesses potent GABAergic effects whilst also displaying potent neuroprotective qualities. When it comes to dosages for anti-stress purposes, we're looking between 30 to 50 milligrams once or twice a day. Picamillon tends to feel somewhat similar to GABA and L-theanine, and so it's probably best to utilize this compound more sparingly as compared to jugulan extract and lemon balm extract. So that pretty much wraps up my favorite anti-stress molecules. If you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button down below, and please do check out the links in the video description down below to purchase these compounds. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.